What's up, book nerds? I'm here to give a quick shout out to one of our favorite bookish small businesses, Well Read Candle Company. If you need your home or office to smell like your favorite book boyfriend or maybe your favorite small town vibe to get you through the day, you have to check them out. It's a woman owned business making some of the best bookish scents, and we are fully obsessed. We will link the website in the show notes, and don't forget to use code WhatTheSmut10 to save 10% on your order.
What's up, book nerds? Welcome to What the Smut Are You Talking About podcast. We are a weekly romance book podcast where we talk about books and chaos. So yeah, pretty much anything goes.
Join us as we talk about the books we are reading, what crazy shenanigans are happening in our lives, and who knows, we may have some fun guests drop by.
So grab your favorite snacky snack and your beverage of choice and come hang out and see what the smut we are talking about this week. Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Oh, man. I am
How's your week
ready.
been?
I'm exhausted.
Mhm.
The kids aren't sleeping. I'm not sleeping. The air quality here in Chattanooga has been god awful. I woke up this
Oh.
morning with another sore throat. I'm on the struggle bus, guys.
So, so how many Diet Cokes you gonna need today?
Probably a lot, but I've only had one so far, so that is a win in my book.
That is a win. That is a win. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's gonna be hot here today. It's already like I got up at the cats got me up at 6:30 and I let them outside. And I was like, man, it's already warm. Like and I am not ready for shorts weather. I am not a shorts weather fan.
I my
I,
thighs are too big for shorts, guys. Like,
I love
I'm a chubby
yes,
girl. I was even
same.
wearing when we went to Disney, I had leggings on the entire time.
Mhm.
And still at one point, like, I had, like, the chub rub is what I call it.
Yes, yes,
And,
yes. If I wear out my jeans, like my pants, like the first place they wear out is my thighs. So yeah,
yes, I'm like, "Babe,"
fully understand.
at one point, I was like, I need the bathtub right now." I was like, "I need to go and just let my thighs soak." Like, it was
Yes.
so raw. And also, like, I should have known better, like, I should have put, like, baby powder or something to, like, stop it, but I think it's just because we sweated so much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was hot. I was not like,
Yeah.
we went late February, early March. Like, I was expecting it to still be a little cool, and it was 80 fucking degrees the entire
Oh,
time.
yeah. There's a reason I don't live there's several reasons I don't live in Florida. One of them being the heat and the other being the bugs.
And the alligators.
And and the alligators, and the alligators. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the bugs
Mhm.
and the frogs and the lizards, like, oh, no. No, thank
So,
you.
one thing about me, I cannot like, I don't like frogs. I don't like looking at them. I don't like them trying to jump on me. Like, if I see a frog too close to me, I will freak the fuck out. I don't know why. But there were frogs everywhere at nighttime, and I'm just like, "Oh, get them away. Please don't let my kids touch them." Like,
Yep.
ugh, it was a time.
Yeah, yeah, and some of them down there are actually, like, poisonous to pets and things
Yeah.
because when I was a kid, I went to visit my aunt and uncle down in Florida, and their dog, like, either tried to eat a lizard or a frog, and it ended up causing neurological issues for, like, 48 hours.
Yeah.
It was
Gosh.
wild, and I'm like, "Add this to the list of reasons I do not wanna move to Florida."
Exactly. I'll go for the beach, and I'll go for Disney and Universal.
I'll take my beach elsewhere. I'll move further up north. Give me North Carolina. Mm.
See, I don't like the ocean on what is that, the Atlantic side?
Yes.
It's
Mhm.
too yucky for me. Like, I want the Gulf where sometimes the water can be clear. Like, I
And
want
you
it
have to
to
do the
where I can
stingray
see.
shuffle every time in the Gulf? Yeah. See, I
Yeah.
can't do the Gulf. I don't want the stingrays.
Oh, yeah. So, that is true. But, like, I don't like swimming with fish in general. I think we've had this conversation before. I can't remember. but I will freak the fuck out if a fish comes near me. And I blame, like, childhood trauma on it, I guess. I don't know, but it was our one-year wedding anniversary. We took a cruise to Mexico, and which I should have known better, but Barrett wanted to do a snorkeling thing, and I was like, "I'm not snorkeling." I was like, "You know me, I don't like fish being around me." So he's like, "Okay, well, the snorkeling thing was, like, really weird to get into, like, you didn't go through a beach, like, they had a
Uh-huh.
ladder attached to from, like, this, like, overlook thing, so it's
Okay.
like you had to climb down into the water and then climb up to get back up. So I was like, "Well, Barrett's gonna go snorkel, and I'm just gonna go swim a little bit just to cool off." Well, bitch, it's all, like, the reef. Like, that's
Yeah.
where fish feed
Yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah.
Me
Yeah.
not thinking about this shit. I get in this water, Mary, and when I tell you fish swarm me, like, I thought, like, they were trying to eat me at this point because
Oh
they were
my
just kept on
gosh. Oh
circling
my
me.
gosh.
When I say I screamed, like, you would think I was dying type of scream, like, everybody around us came running, they thought I was getting, like, attacked by a shark.
Oh my gosh.
So, finally, Barrett's like, "What?" And they're like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "It's okay, it's just fish. She doesn't like fish."
Oh my gosh.
These people are
That
like so on top of it, I'm embarrassed 'cause there's, like, 20 people, like, just, like, staring
yeah.
at me. So, yeah, I'm that girl, like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, I'm getting out."
You're like, "I'm a land-only girl. I will admire the
Yeah.
water from shore."
Yeah, I have full-blown panic attacks in the ocean. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but I just love going. It's so much fun, and the only time I truly enjoy the water, like the ocean water, is if I'm drinking. Like, there's some, like, old, like, PCB pics of because me and my girlfriends used to take a trip every year to PCB, and, like, you have me and my friend Kara, like, out in the water, like, trying to hold up our alcohol, and we're like, "Woo!"
It's amazing how brave that can make you sometimes.
Yes, yes, that's the only time you can find me enjoying the ocean.
That's too funny.
Okay, sorry, I took us way off topic again.
That is okay. That is okay. We are excited to talk to everyone today with it being baseball season, a deep dive into The Hotshot by Piper Rayne.
Yes! Let me just tell you, I love this book so much.
I don't remember what book is this. That one's not book one, is it?
It's Dugout Series Book 1. It's gonna be a
Okay.
four-book series, but this is the first book of the series.
Okay, so this is the first book. Yay, we got it.
Yes.
We got in at the beginning. Look at our chaos working.
I know, and I wasn't expecting to like this book as much as I did. Like, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is my new personality."
So, The Hot Shot by Piper Rayne, as Courtney said, is book one in a four-book series. This one covers a single mom where it's her best friend's brother, has a little bit of fake dating rolling around, a good amount of baseball, which was fun to have, and it's kind of a second chance story. It's a missed opportunity. I think that would be a good way to describe it. And it is on audiobook, or is it coming on audiobook?
It is on
Because I know.
audio. Yeah, I did audio on it.
So who was it narrated by?
So, I love them for doing this. So, it's technically what's called, like, a full cast, but it's duet
Ooh.
narration by CJ Bloom and JF Harding. But it also features Teddy Hamilton, Sean
Mhm.
Masters, Connor
Mm.
Crace, Aaron
Mhm.
Mallon, Willa James, Meg Sylvan, and Austin Stone.
Well, I can say, as not typically an audiobook girly, that cast and that lineup, oh my gosh, Court, I might have to check it out because, whoo, that's a
It was
list.
so
That is
good.
a superstar list for an audiobook.
Yes. It is so good. So for those that are not used to the audiobook world, if it was just a true duet narration without the full cast,
Mhm.
then the female narrator will read any part of the female, regardless of whose point of view it is. end.
Mhm.
The female does all the female parts, the male narrator does all the male parts. Well, when you have a full cast, each narrator is assigned a
A
person.
character.
So if
Yeah.
a character, yes, thank you. So if that character is speaking, then that narrator will narrate that part. But if it's not a narrator assigned to one of those characters, then the 2 main people will do it. I know I probably just confused people, but
No, no,
you
you
see it
described
in
it really, really
action.
well. And think of it like a live action play where your main core narrators are going to narrate all the non-speaking parts. And then you have the full cast, like you said, each character has a cast member who will be reading the speaking parts. And
Yes.
book 2 is already out on audio,
Yeah, book 2
and
just came out.
it did, and I can't wait, and it's a full cast for book 2 audio as well, and that one, the lead narrators are Sean Masters and Aaron Mallon,
Yes.
which are in the book 1. Sean Masters is one of my favorites for audiobook narration. There's been several books of his that I have listened to, and so that has me excited as well.
Yes, I love all of these narrators,
Yeah.
so I am so excited. I and that's luckily I have a credit, so I gotta get through my chaos reading right now, but then I'm definitely going back and, getting book 2.
So book 1 and book 2, which just released on the 31st, both of them are on Amazon and KU, and we will be sure to drop the link in our show notes, and it'll be included in season 1 list on our Amazon storefront. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think about the book.
Yes, because it's my new personality. Well, guys, we are going to dive deep into the Hotshot. So, this is your spoiler warning. We love that you are here, but if you haven't read this book yet, I suggest that you utilize the chapter features on whatever platform you're listening to this episode on and jump ahead to the next segment.
If you have read or if you are chaos readers like Courtney and I, then stick around and hear our thoughts about the book.
All right, so Mary, let's first do like our overall thoughts of the book. What
Mhm.
you got for me?
My gosh. Well, you know me, second chance or missed opportunities that come back around definitely fall into my jam of reads. This book was so much fun to read. I thought that it had some really, really tender, heartfelt moments. And I thought that Piper gave these characters a lot of depth, emotional growth, and she also gave us some fiercely loyal friendships. I definitely have so many things I want to know, especially with Foster coming into play. Like, I felt like Hayes was getting a lot closer to Easton and Decker and kind of excited that Foster wasn't in the picture. So I'm definitely excited for that story arc to kind of hopefully continue. The ending did take me by surprise. I have to admit, I was surprised on that one because I had my guesses, but she totally threw me for a loop with how she played out that ending. And so I know we'll get to that in a little bit. And I have to say that I'm nervous for book 2 because Foster is not my favorite. So I'm excited to see how Piper will redeem him in the story.
Okay,
And
so who were you hoping for? And tell me it was Decker.
it really was. It really was. I
Yes,
was I
okay.
was hoping I was hoping beyond hope that that's what it was. And so I am very excited to see how she writes and has Foster's character growth in book 2 because how he's portrayed in book 1 is definitely the cocky hotshot who almost
He's an
feels
asshole.
like
He's an
he
asshole.
is. He is, but I also feel like he is the one who eggs all the other people on to make bad decisions. And I feel like he does that because he doesn't want to look at himself and be like, I'm the one making these decisions. I want to bring somebody down with me. That's kind of how I pictured him. But I thought the story was very well done. I loved Leighton and Hayes, and I loved the fun times and the kids in the story and how she captured real life in that respect, like, as a mom.
Uh-huh.
There were so many things where Leighton was doing stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I think we've all been there and can relate to that on such a deeper level, and so
Mhm.
I'm thrilled that we get to deep dive in and compare notes. So what was your overall thought so far?
I mean, I loved it. It was the perfect read for, the start of the baseball season, and I started reading this on opening day, so it, just fit. It was the vibe I wanted, it was the vibe that I got, and
Mhm.
I so wanted to include it in our episode of The Boy Garden in Bloom because it would've been so perfect, but or at least, give it an honorable mention, but I'm glad it's getting its own episode,
Me
and
too.
that friend group, it's so relatable, and like you said, they brought Foster in, probably about 65-70% in the book, and this whole time he's made to be the villain, right? Because
Yes.
Hayes is on his redemption path, he's the bad boy, he's trying to clean up his image, and then you throw Foster in at left field, and, Foster's redemption story, I feel like we're gonna love him by the end of book 2, but that
Mhm.
ending I was
Mhm.
kicking my feet and, 'cause you have no clue. Like, they truly leave you on a cliffy. Like, it
They
says,
do.
it ends with, "It can be any of the 3 guys," and I'm like,
I know.
"Motherfucker,
Yeah.
motherfucker, who is it?" And
Yeah.
I was so hoping for Decker, and then, of course, I had to go, to Piper Rayne's Instagram page, and you
Mhm.
do find out that it is Foster is gonna be book two's main male character.
When I saw the title for book 2, I figured out that it was gonna be Foster. Right after we got to the cliffhanger, and then you scroll down and she mentions book two's title, The Wild Card, and I was like, "Oh, so my guess was wrong."
See,
Like, immediately knew.
Okay, book nerds, a quick interruption for something that you might find useful. If your TBR is unhinged as mine and you need a way to consume more books without quitting your day job, Audible will be your best friend. You can grab a free 30-day trial using the link in our show notes, which means you can listen to all the romance, fantasy, and morally gray men to your heart's desire. Perfect for your commute, your hot girl walk, or when you're pretending to be productive, but you're actually just listening to smut. And yes, audiobooks absolutely count as reading. I will die on that hill. So grab your free trial with our link in the show notes and you can thank me later.
I love how your brain works because I never would have guessed that. The title.
I guessed it because
Oh.
Foster was the wild card coming into the team
Yeah,
during this book with Hayes, um, as the catcher, and Foster came in as the wild card as the pitcher, and so when I saw that title, I was like, "Oh, I know who it is."
yeah, yeah. Definitely did not get a read on that.
Which I love. I love how we both have our different takeaways from the book and different things that stuck with us,
I
and
know. That's why we
I
work so
have to
well together.
I agree, I agree. I have to give an honorable mention from the book to Ruby. The
Yes.
she's the bartender. She's the bartender at Peeper's Alley, which in this story is the bar that is at the bottom of the apartment complex where Decker, Hayes, and Easton live. And eventually Foster comes to live there as well when he is signed on to the team. But throughout the story, I think the comical piece is they're trying to rename the apartment to match the players and what team and what sport is being played. But then Ruby and her sass and gruff attitude, and I feel like she looks out for them like she's their mama bear, and it is just
Yeah.
so funny how listening to her talk with Leighton that one time, I was laughing when they were going head to head verbally against each other.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, she was definitely the mama bear to him, and I don't know, she was just hilarious the entire time, and then at the end, when they brought the kids in, she's just so loving. I love it.
Mhm, mhm.
I love when there's an older character in the stories that have, like, the best comedic relief, which there's a
Yes.
lot of comedy in this. I mean, just between the guys alone, like, literally there was points I was crying from laughing so hard. I'm surprised I didn't pee on myself.
You wanna start and take us from the very beginning with their little meet cute setup?
Can we really call it a meet cute, in this one? Because, we meet Leighton, and at the very beginning, we're finding out, she just gained temporary custody of her cousin's kids. Her and her
Mhm.
cousin was very close. They were more like sisters. And Leighton is a single labor and delivery nurse, and she just feels like she's drowning, but also wants to honor her cousin's wishes. So her cousin and her cousin's husband ended up passing away. They were on like a hike or something like that, right?
Yes,
Am I
they
remembering that
took a
correctly?
vacation they took a vacation to a cabin, and it was interesting and probably one of the loose plot threads that I would have liked tidied up a little bit is they supposedly went hiking and they passed away on the hike. It sounds like they fell off a cliff or something happened in that nature, but also later in the book, they find that phones and things were in the cabin in the backpack and not with them when they went on the hike. And that
Right.
my little detective brain with red flags was like, "Why?" I
Yeah.
needed to know
So,
for me, that nugget and sorry, that was a huge spoiler.
hey, we already gave that spoiler warning. We're good.
But, yeah, so they did so anyways, they passed away, and Leighton is trying to honor her cousin and her husband's wishes. They both agreed they wanted Leighton to have custody and guardianship over their 3 kids.
Yes, yes, and so her best friend is Callie, and Callie knows she's about to go away on, like, this, like, work trip, so she wants someone there representing for her and, like, wants Leighton to feel supported even though Callie can't be there, so she calls in her hot older brother, Hayes.
Dun,
So
dun, dun!
yes. Hayes, he plays for the Chicago Colts as a catcher, and he's new to the team. I forgot what team he was playing on previously, but
He was in
him
Seattle,
so he was in Seattle, and the pitcher for them was Foster, and when them 2 get
AKA
together,
Hayes's best friend when he
yes,
was
they're
in
best
Seattle.
friends. Yes. When you get them 2 together, they just cause chaos. They feed off each other. It was like a toxic friendship, pretty much.
I
And
think so too.
and you just learn all this stuff throughout the book about Foster. That's, like, what made me hate him before even knowing him.
I know, and I hope that Piper tells us in book 2 a little bit more backstory of what happened in Seattle, because we do find out in the book, in Hotshot, we find out why Hayes felt so lost when he was in Seattle, and I think that's the best word for it. He was spiraling and he was lost,
Yeah.
and you find that out as you read the story. He confides in Leighton about all of it. And I feel like you said, Foster, I feel like egged on that feeling in Hayes. And that's what caused Hayes to have issues to where coming to Chicago was for 2 reasons. He wanted to be near family, but I think also it was the last straw for him to prove that he could get his act together and be a professional, level headed player.
Right. 100%. And they have, like, this little backstory. So Leighton has always thought he was, like, really good looking, like, through high school. They're just a couple years age difference.
Hmm.
But Callie, one thing she made clear to Leighton is how much she despised having girl friendships that was only wanting to be friends with Callie to get closer to Hayes.
Yep.
So when Leighton hears this, she's like, "Well, I can't be interested in Hayes because I don't want to lose that friendship with Callie." So she immediately puts up this like wall for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in their college years. Leighton and Hayes end up kissing one night, maybe like at a party or something, or they were leaving something. I can't remember the full story. But right after the kiss, Leighton just like turns and runs away, and she never tells Callie about it, like it never happened.
And Hayes never tells Callie about it.
Yeah, I don't think they tell basically anyone about it, right?
Right. And so that covers some of our backstory. And part of you can definitely see the foreshadowing. So before Callie goes on her podcast tour, which let's give a huge shout out to that because hello, podcast
L
goals. Court and I would
love
love
it.
to go on tour.
Manifesting this shit.
Yes, totally. But she meets with the attorney who handled her cousin's affairs. And he says that right now she is the guardian, but there is a time period where people can contest. And at the funeral slash wake that's at the home, you kind of meet other characters in the story, specifically the late husband's brother and his wife. So they are Art and Juliana. And you can kind of tell, you're like, this bitch. I
Yes.
do not
Hate
like
her.
her completely. And so when the lawyer is talking to Callie and Leighton about the guardianship and that people can contest, as soon as he said that, you know the tension is going to be her fighting for these kids.
Yes. Yep. 100%.
And that leads to a hearing where Hayes stands up in the middle of the courtroom and says they're dating.
Yeah. Loved it. I
I
cheered
know.
at this point because you know me, I love a good fake dating.
And that was a beautiful announcement and way to do it. And you're just like, yes, fist pump, go get her.
Yes, yes, and the kids. Let's talk about the kids for a second because they're mostly younger. You have Lake, the oldest, who is like a teenager. I think she's like in high
Hmm.
school. But then you have Lincoln, who is more like in middle school. And then you have Monroe, who is younger. And I
Yes.
just loved all of their personalities. Like they were so sweet. And you see the three of them take the grief of losing their parents in different ways. And I feel like like Piper did such a great job, like
Yes.
with all, like I
Yes.
couldn't do it. That is some
It-
art right there. Their craft is like so amazing because
yeah.
like they took three little people, gave them each their own personalities, and then how to overcome grief, which is hard to do at that age.
It,
So
it,
kudos to Piper.
it is. It was beautifully, beautifully done. So Monroe is 6. And can I also say, as a mother, so apparently the children's parents decided to do a national day calendar with Monroe, which, if you don't know what the national day is, when you Google, it'll say, oh, today is the national day of ice cream. Today is the national day of hugs. And for Leighton and then Hayes to pick it up too and just completely go with this.
No.
As a mother, I was like, what the hell was she smoking? Because there is no way that I would ever do something like that. I'm like, I would have shot myself in the foot 10 times over.
But the national, like, say hi day or introduce yourself day or whatever it was, like,
Yes.
I was chuckling because that would totally happen, like, with a six-year-old, like, my five-year-old would do
Yes.
the same thing, like,
Oh my
I
gosh,
was
and
dying.
high five day,
Yeah.
yes, and so one of the fun days and one of the first times Callie calls in Hayes is when it is National Get Your Nails Done Day.
Oh,
And so all the
yes.
boys, Decker and Easton, go with Monroe and Lincoln so that Monroe can get her nails done. And it ends up that Easton and Lincoln get their nails done to match. And
Yes.
it was such a funny, funny time. But I do love, I like when there are kids in the story. It definitely makes it real and relatable for me. But like you said, I really, really love how Piper, how they captured each child individually and each of their struggles because it was very different how the grief manifested in each of them. And you could really, you could see it and you could understand it and it seemed very believable as a reader.
Yeah. I think one of my favorites was with Lincoln's dad was going
Mhm.
to coach his baseball team.
Yes.
And Leighton was like, "Oh, I can do it." And so then she goes to Hayes and, like, gets all these like, they plan and she gets all of her notes and stuff. And then she gets there and this guy is trying to, like, mansplain to her and just being a complete douche.
I
And
know.
and she's just like, "Oh, my boyfriend's helping me. Oh, my boyfriend, like, gave me some pointers." And he's just like, "Oh, who's your boyfriend? Okay." And then he shows up.
I know, I know. That was probably one of the best scenes ever to have that, and the guy I can't even remember his nickname, it was, like,
Uh,
something smarmy, like
it was so gross. What
like
was
the
it?
d I don't know, I have to look it up now.
What was the nickname? But people call me Bummer? Bumper? Some weird name.
I know, it was, and,
Butter. Is it Butter?
yes, I think so.
It was
Yes,
I have a
yes,
B name.
butter. It is
Butter.
butter.
Yeah, and then he was like, you could call me Butter." And then, like, Hayes, like, intentionally was, like, not calling him that and then calling yeah, it was I loved every second of it.
It was hilarious. So, obviously, throughout all of this, they start falling for each other and start realizing that it doesn't feel like it's fake. And I do like and appreciate how they communicated that both of them were feeling real feelings for each other. So,
Yes.
Piper Rayne didn't skirt around that, and you actually are like, "Okay, here are adults who are having conversations," and that was a good thing. They are communicating in that way, and we'll get to the conflict chaos in a minute because we will have to mention that there is a 3rd act breakup, and I'm not normally a fan of those, but we'll cover that in a second. So, while they're admitting they have feelings for each other, the guardianship was challenged, and one of the Easter eggs or clues is while she's putting away her stuff waiting for the social worker to come and review what's going on in the home, she finds this duffel bag with lingerie in it that she thought was really, really odd that it was in the spare room. And the kids also alluded to their dad sleeping in the spare room. So Leighton is not only going over the loss of her best friend, but also going through the realization that what she thought was a picture perfect marriage and family may not have always been the case.
Yes, 'cause I recall her saying that her cousin would never wear, like, red lingerie, and there was red lingerie in the bag.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
she
And
starts questioning this, like, "Why didn't she tell me any of these issues?" kinda thing.
mhm. And we also have their backpacks. Eventually, Hayes convinces her to move into the master bedroom. And that's when you see their backpacks from their hiking trip that they went on. And there was a separate phone that the husband had. And she confides in Hayes that she's not sure what it is because all of his work stuff was collected and that this was different. So that is another thing that leaves readers guessing. And I will tell you, this is the first place that I went was most of your readers are going to guess that he was having an affair.
Yes, and I was like, some crazy bitch showed up at their, like, weekend trip and pushed them. Like, that's exactly, like,
Well,
where
and
my
I'll
head
and
went.
well, so my head went that it was Juliana and the husband, and
So
that's why Juliana was contesting this and wanted the kids. That was where my brain thought and went, which I thought was really, really fabulous of them to write it that way because I think readers are going to expect that. And then when you find out the reality, which we can get to later after we do some of our chaotic conflict that they have. But she threw me for a loop for that one because I did not expect what it
yeah.
actually was.
Me either. Me either. Like you said, I'm not a fan of the third act breakup,
Hmm.
but if it's done well, I enjoy it. And this is one that was done really well. You
And it
know, the
wasn't long. It wasn't a
yes, it
long.
was so Hayes promised Lakin that he would be at her birthday party. So she ended up telling all of her friends, that I have this MLB player coming to my birthday party. And then Hayes was going to bring his guys, and it was just going to be fun. But it gets time for the party, and Hayes isn't there. But they have a game. So she's like, okay, okay. It's running a little bit late. I understand. And so she starts calling him, and he doesn't answer. And she continues to call and call and call. And here it is at the end of the party, and it's a no-show.
Hmm.
And he finally comes home. I wanna say he's sporting a black eye,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they get into this huge fight.
Mhm.
And I don't even think she, like, lets him fully explain, right? Does he get
No,
it?
because
No.
we find out throughout the story Leighton's trauma, and her trauma is her not being able to depend on anybody, because
Right.
if you don't depend on anybody, then you can't get hurt.
That's right, yeah. And she was starting to depend on
Mhm. What I will say is with the conflict and him not showing at the birthday party, one of the things I loved about Hayes's character is even though Leighton was mad at him, he went up to Lake and apologized to her on his own, you know, did the adult thing to do. And
yeah.
that was a piece where I was like, "Okay, that's a little swoony." That was
Yeah,
that was good.
it shows that he doesn't just care for Leighton, he cares for all of these kids.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I was so mad, but I get why we needed the breakup. But she kind of finds herself too during this breakup, like because she's also
Mhm.
like she doesn't like to depend on anyone. But the thing is, she does in a way. Like she will. It's like a catch-22 because she knows her parents will back her up if
Mhm.
needed, but she also depends on Callie. She comes home. Wait, Callie was there for the party. So that's how she finds out that her and Hayes is actually like a real thing.
Yes, yes, and it was funny because we also find out Callie kind of set it up. She knew that they both had feelings for each other, so that is why she you find out that is why she sent Hayes to check on Leighton at the beginning. I feel like that was the sister blessing of, "I know my brother wants you, and I know you want my brother, so here's my blessing."
Also, like, I loved how they wrote their, like, sibling dynamic because you could
Mhm.
truly tell they were, like, brother sister because, like, throughout every interaction with Hayes and Callie, she was, like, doing reverse psychology to get her way. And,
Yes,
like,
yes.
I died every single time because I was like, "Yep, that's something I would have done with my brother at that age. Yes, yes, it is."
And And also, I think what was hilarious is we find out that Callie fed reverse psychology to Lake to talk to Leighton in order for her to forgive Hayes and to get like when that truth came out that it wasn't Lake's
Yeah.
therapist, it was Callie. And I'm like, oh, that was brilliant. That was just hilarious. That was
Yes.
so, so funny. So funny.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that was amazing. I forgot about that.
And obviously they get back together.
Yes.
And we find out what threw me for the loop is we find out that it was actually the uncle, Art, who is Patrick's brother, the late husband's brother, and Skylar, Leighton's cousin, were having an affair. And I
Yes.
felt like it was good that Hayes was around when Leighton found that so Patrick hired a private investigator and all of this came to light at the end. And at first, Leighton didn't wanna know, but Hayes supported her whichever way she whatever her decision was, and they found out, and they decided to know the truth, but not obviously not tell the kids, and they also decided to Leighton went to Art and basically threatened him in a
Yeah.
good way to say, "Back off, these kids are mine, you're never getting them if you want this information to stay private." And
Yeah.
so it does end up with her having the kids as their own and Hayes moving in with them, even though he was already living
Mhm.
there.
Also, when she was, like, going to storm out of Art's house and Hayes was sitting there on the steps waiting for her, like, that was
Melted
his way of
heart.
yes, like, "I know you're strong enough that you can do this, but I'm here if you need me." Like, I was just like,
I know, that was total swoon that was like swoon moment, main character energy 5,000. It was beautiful how he just was there for her, and that was it, and he just hugs her, and you're just like, "Okay, heart melt. I'm done." Put a ring on her finger.
Yes.
And then obviously at the very ending, we find out somebody is pregnant.
Yeah, so our epilogue, which, I'm not big fans of prologue and epilogue. I get, like, why we have them, but the epilogue comes, it's 5 months later, and it's in someone else's point of view. It is in Callie's point of view, and we find out, that she's pregnant. She finds out in the bar.
Mhm.
Does she take the test in the bar? Or no, she
I
took
don't
the
think she
test
took
before she
I think she
went.
took the test before she went.
That's right, but she tells
Leighton.
Leighton in the bathroom in a bar, and she's like I forgot how it happened, but she,
They
um
tell each other outside, actually. They're
oh,
talking
was it
outside.
outside?
They walked out mhm. They walk outside, and they're outside of the building, and she blurts it out, and Leighton is shocked, and she said she took the test this morning, and she asked Callie who's the dad, and Callie said it's one of the men in there, which obviously you know it's not Hayes, and you know it's not Jagger because I think their manager Jagger is in there, so you know it's not him because he is
Yeah.
obsessed and married. She asks for clarification. She's like, "The baby's father is either Decker, Foster, or Easton," and Callie nods. And then Hayes interrupts with all the kids coming out, and they were like, "We're getting fresh air." And they decide to go to the zoo afterwards, and they find out the name for the building they finally came up with was the Dugout. And so
Yeah.
and then we end it with a perfect ending right there.
Yes. Yeah, so I am definitely excited for book 2 and the wild card, it's out now. I finished a book, so I think I'm gonna download I think I'm gonna start the wild card today. That's gonna be my currently reading. My
That's gonna be your
I'm
currently reading, and I will say they, do have Piper Rayne. So if you don't know, Piper Rayne is 2 people writing under that pen name,
Yes.
and they do have a bonus content that when you finish reading, if you sign up for their newsletter, you get a bonus content, and it talks um, talks about their happily ever after a little more, and there's a little bit more of Callie in the bonus content too.
Oh, currently reading, not
You're going to the
surprised.
wild card.
I'm going to the wild card, baby. I am going to the wild card. I'm gonna start that like I need to start another book.
That
Chaos Courtney
is
is back, bitches.
I think I'm actually taking a little bit of a break
That's
to
okay.
catch up on some admin stuff. So my currently readings are paused at the moment, but I definitely want to dive into book 2 of this one.
Okay. I won't spoil it for you, but I will give you my vibes as I go.
What are we watching? Well, still American Idol, definitely. And we
Did
watched
you
The
find out who
Rookie.
got voted off?
No, I find out Monday. Probably when this airs, I probably will have known who got voted off, but I don't know right now.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
And
Well,
obviously still watching The Rookie, which has
okay.
new episodes every Monday right after American Idol. And that has Nathan
Nice.
Fillion, who's that's my older man.
Aw.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I did get to start The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I'm still on episode 1, but because my kids I had to put my kids to bed, so because we kinda watch it on a delay because I just never know when I could have time
Well,
to watch
yeah.
it, but I wanted hubby to watch this one with me because he is a fan of Bachelor Nation, so I was like, "At least give it one episode." I don't think he's feeling it because it's, like, a lot of drama. So this is probably one, like, I can watch on my own so I can keep up with it quicker. But, I did have to put the kids to bed last night, so I'm hoping to finish it tonight. But it's good. I like what
Yay.
I've seen so far, so I'm hooked.
Awesome. So now we get time for our unhinged thoughts of the week. We take our normal thoughts with no context, no logic, and just vibes and unpack it like it's completely normal around here. So, what's your unhinged thought, Courtney?
I've just been so burnt out. Like, burnout is so fucking real. Because if you think about it, like, I work full time, I podcast, which is almost itself a full time job.
Mm-hmm.
I got all my little side hustles I like to do, the authors I help. And then on top of that, like, I'm a mom. I'm the primary
Yep.
parent. I gotta figure
Yep.
out what to cook every night. I gotta clean. I gotta do laundry. I just need a fucking break.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
my unhinged thought is normalize breaks. Like, it's fine.
And
Yes, I wanted all of this. Yes, I could take away things. But it's okay to say, "Hey, I just need a little me time."
yes, I agree. I completely agree. My thoughts are we need to normalize that burnout can happen and normalize building in safety measures. I say it like that, but normalize building in checks and balances so that we don't have burnout as often. And like you said,
Yeah.
like normalize taking breaks, normalize doing things completely off the wall to just minimize the burnout because yeah, I feel you 100% on the burnout. I don't know what it's been for these past 6 months, but like it's real and it's struggle busing. And I
Yeah.
some of it I think has to do with age too, and I think that that's a hard thing to balance as women is our hormones and our body changes and our mind changes and our energy levels change.
Yeah.
And just oh, yeah, having more normalized breaks and understanding of those things.
Yeah. Because it's like points like this, like, I really wished I had my kids when I was in my 20s. But because like, I had more energy then, and, because that's one thing, like, I want to give them the childhood I didn't have.
Mhm.
So, I worked my ass off.
Yes, yes. Fully understand that, fully understand that.
But
So
what you got for me,
my
Mary?
my unhinged thought are why are cats such feral chaos gremlins? I love our little fur balls, and one of them is not little. Her name is Buttercup, but she literally looks like a butterball turkey when she lays down on the ground. Uh But the other one, Gus, he is in his feral stage where I cannot sleep. And he is even worse than when my kid was born. And you're up all night feeding your child? No, this cat is worse. If I'm in bed, he starts plucking on the side of the bed to wake me up to go downstairs. And then if I'm downstairs, he will pluck and lift the floor mat at our front door. So it makes this really loud thwack, like smacking sound. He will pluck the couch. He will pluck the bins, the little cloth bins that we have that, used to house my kids' toys and now house all the junk I don't want anybody to see in my home. And, I'm not one to let my cats out at night just because we do live in an area where there have been coyotes, there are
Right.
bears, there's stuff like that. So I don't let them out at night. And some nights I literally want to swaddle him in one of those Velcro angel sleep sacks and put him in a crib and a sound machine so I could get a full night's sleep
Listen, let me
because
tell you something that's gonna change your life. Go to the pet store and get him what's called a thunder vest or a thunder buddy vest. My cat, when we had our cat Gibson, he was so anxious if new people came over or if there was any loud sounds. He got so anxious. So they made these it's basically like a
I know
weighted
exactly what
blanket
you're talking
for
about. Yeah.
cats. Like, literally, you put that on, he would walk 2 steps and, just fall over, and I thought it was the funniest thing.
Oh my
But
gosh. I might have to
it
try that
will
for night. I don't know
it
if
will
he'll let
calm
me
him
do it.
down.
I don't know if he'll let me do it because he's also like, don't touch, like, don't wrap me in anything.
Yeah.
But I might have to try that. But yeah, so nights the past 2 weeks have been interesting to say the least. And I don't know these pet owners who have their cats or pets who sleep all night and don't disturb them.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of them. So listeners, if you have a pet, especially a cat, and your cat sleeps all night, teach me your ways. Tell me your secrets because this girl would like some uninterrupted sleep.
And again, always feel free to message us, your unhinged thoughts to us, because who knows, we might read them on air.
Yes. And we are going to wrap it up for today. But next week, we have a wonderful author guest joining us. You
Yes,
want to
I'm super
drop some
excited.
teasers? You want to drop some teasers, Court?
Yes. So this author writes romance stories with heat, heart, and humor, and of course, some happily ever afters. She is a Chicago native and also a fellow Diet Coke lover. So,
Well, which she will fit right in.
yes, she's going to fit in quite well. So, check us out next week to see who we're going to have.
Yes, and be sure if you want a little early access, sign up for our newsletter or follow us on Instagram. We will be dropping hints and we'll be revealing who our guests are. And if you want first access to all of the unhinged chaotic goodies, our newsletter is where you want to be. And our sign up is linked in the show notes.
In the meantime, you can catch us causing chaos over on Instagram at What the Smut Podcast and me personally at On Point Digital Services.
And I'm over on Instagram at Cortney Leanne. If you want to join us for a chat, there's a form linked in our notes, so be sure to fill that out because we would love to hear from you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving us a review. Reviews help other smut readers find us, and honestly, they make our chaotic hearts very happy.
And if you really love this podcast and want to show support, we've got a listener support link in our show notes. Supporters get shout outs, special giveaways, and maybe even some exclusive chaos you can't find anywhere else. We also have sponsorship opportunities as well.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.